Hello, everyone. Oh, I have to sneeze. Oh, sorry. Oh, anyway, we're trying to get over this cold in our house. How about you guys? Has anybody else had this cold? It seems to hang on forever. Anyway, I hope you're doing good. I will try not to sneeze. I'm glad that went away. But nice to see you. Today is the 2nd of January. We are in our new series, 5 books that are going to change your 2017. Again, I am not the guru of all books. Hey, Zona. This is just an idea. Okay, hey, Kyle, how's it going? Kyle's going to read 1 book a month this year, so I can't wait to hear what books you're going to read. Good morning. And I just mostly ask people for their recommendations, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, and that's how I get a lot of the books that I read. Hey, Melanie, good to see you. So anyway, today's topic is a book. Oh, let me tell you this first before we go through. Good morning, Zona. I love the sunshine. It's cloudy and gonna rain for like the next 10 days here, so I love seeing your sunshine. You're in Santa Barbara, somewhere around there, I think. I hope it's sunny down there. But what we're doing with this series is a little different. I really want you guys to move forward in these goals and these topics and the things that you want to accomplish. So what I'm doing is by the end of the 5 books, if you have purchased any of those books, send me a proof of purchase. Send me a picture of yourself holding the book, or send me like a screenshot of your proof of purchase. I'm going to send you something that I created, which is called Maps to Achieving Goals, and it's a 4-part plan to achieving all of your goals and breaking them down into measurable units and setting time frames. And it's just a free guide I'm going to send to you to help you really get to your goals and achieve the things that you want. Now, here's the second part of that. If you get it, if you fill it out, part of what helps people achieve their goals is writing them down. Only 3% of people write down their goals, but those people, those 3%, achieve their goals 50% more than the people who didn't write them down. But if you write that paper down and you fill that out and you send it back to me, I am going to personally email you every quarter and follow up with you on how your goal is doing. I want to help you guys move forward in this. I want to help you guys move forward in this year. And so that's my commitment to you. If you buy the book, any of these books, send me the proof of purchase. I'm going to send you a guide to help get your goals on track. You fill it out, you send it back to me. I'm going to email you every quarter to follow up on how you're doing. That's the simple part of it. Let's get to book number 2. Yesterday we talked about the book David and Goliath. Have any of you read that? It's really good. Oh, Huntington Beach. I was close. It's rainy there too. But today we're going to talk about a book. Listen to this, you guys. Blow your mind. 92% of people give up on their New Year's resolution by January 15th. Like, how many of you have tried to train for a marathon, go on a diet, write the book, sew the clothes, do this commitment at the gym, and we fail? We stop. Hey, Sarah. Hopefully you're back from Seattle. Hope you guys had fun. But what is it that keeps us from achieving our goals? We know we've all done it, but this book is a book that I heard about a lot. I listened to a lot of successful people, and they kept mentioning this book over and over and over, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to read this book, and it's going to help you be part of that 8% that really does achieve the things that you have in your heart, your purposes, and the good works that you were meant to do, and how to reach them. And you've heard of the book called The Art of War. Well, this book is called The War of Art, and it is by Steven Pressfield. And it is a phenomenal book. You can see that the chapters are very short. Can you guys see that there? They're like little bits. And so what he does is, his theory is basically that the thing that presents us, there is something that keeps us from reaching our goals and doing the things we're supposed to do. And he personifies it as called resistance. So it's like you notice that this resistance is always pushing at you to keep you from doing this thing. And what he does is he takes resistance and he gives it these characteristics, and he explains this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my kind of book. I think he has the audio book as well, and I've heard it's really good. This book is $10.94 on Amazon. You can get it in 2 days on Prime. It's amazing. But I just thought I would just read you a couple of little tiny chapters so you know what it's like. He's really actually funny. This one, I'm going to read to you. This one says, resistance is infallible. Like a magnetized needle floating on the surface of oil, your resistance will unfailingly point to true north, meaning that calling or action it most wants us to stop from doing. that most wants to stop us from doing. We can use this. We can use it as a compass. We can navigate by resistance, letting it guide us to that calling or action that we must follow before all others. The rule of thumb is this: the more important a call or action is to our soul's evolution, the more resistance we will feel toward pursuing it. I see Zona said you've got it on your, yes, read this book, Zona. It is phenomenal. Here's another one that stood out to me. It says, resistance only opposes in one direction. So here we are on this part. It says, this is hilarious. Resistance obstructs movement only from a lower sphere to a higher. It kicks in when we seek to pursue a calling in the arts, launch an innovative enterprise, or evolve into a higher station morally, ethically, or spiritually. So, if you're in Calcutta working with Mother Teresa Foundation and you're thinking of bolting to launch a career in telemarketing, just relax. Resistance is going to give you a free pass. So he's basically saying, like, resistance only comes at us when we want to do something that's better than what we're doing. If you want to do something less, you're not going to even face resistance. And then the last part that I've read to you guys before, this is the page that actually made me cry. It's page 142 and 143. And it's about fear. And this is what it says. It's about our biggest fear. It says, resistance feeds on fear. We experience resistance as fear, but fear of what? Fear of the consequences of following our heart, fear of bankruptcy, fear of poverty, fear of insolvency, the fear of groveling when we try to make it on our own, and of groveling when we give up and come crawling back to where we started, fear of being selfish, or being rotten wives or disloyal husbands, fear of failing to support our families or sacrificing their dreams for ours, fear of betraying our race, our hood, our homies, fear of failure, fear of being ridiculous, fear of throwing away the education and the training and the preparation that those we love has sacrificed so much for, that we ourselves have worked our butts off for. Fear of launching into the void, of hurtling too far out there. Fear of passing some point of no return, beyond which we cannot recant, we cannot reverse, we cannot rescind, but we must live with this cocked up choice for the rest of our lives. Fear of madness, fear of insanity, fear of death. These are serious fears, but they're not the real fear. Not the master fear, the mother of all fears that's so close to us that even when we verbalize it, we don't believe it. It's the fear that we will succeed, that we can access the powers we secretly know that we possess, that we can become the person we sense in our hearts that we truly are. We fear discovering that we are more than we think we are, more than our parents and our children and our teachers think we are. We fear that we actually possess the talent that our still small voice tells us, that we actually have the guts, the perseverance, the capacity. We fear that we can truly steer our ship and plant our flag and reach our promised land. And we fear this because if it's true, then we become estranged from all that we know. We pass through a membrane. And so that basically he's saying is like, to me, is like when you're afraid of actually succeeding because it's ground that you haven't taken before. And it disconnects you from the things that you've known. It's sort of in a sense like, when you fear, like if you grow up and you fear, affluence, and you grew up in a poor neighborhood and you fear affluence is going to change you as a person, but then when you get affluent and maybe people that you grew up with make comments that that make you, that you feel like there's a barrier that you've broken through, and yet you've broken through this barrier, but yet the barrier exists between what you knew and now what you know. So it's a very interesting book. I would recommend this. This is going to put you in the 8%, guys. It's funny, it's easy to read, and if you're a creative, you have to read this book. Zona, Sarah, Kyle, Melanie, who else came out? I can't remember, but you have to read this book. This is probably the best one. If I had to pick one book out of 2017, this is it. Read this book. It is awesome, and it will make you think, and you will wake up, and when you feel that resistance to going to the gym, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute. That's resistance being logical. Tell me I can just sleep in until later. So anyway, this book probably changed my year more than any other book, and it still is because it's still ringing in my head. The things that he said is that, the hard part about writing isn't writing, it's actually sitting down to write and doing the action. So anyway, that's that. So this is my book for today, our second book. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about books that have to do with your personal growth and some really awesome books, positivity. Yeah, she says, I'm in, I'm ordering today. Okay, send me that picture of your screenshot or you with the book because I want to send you the guide that I created to help you guys achieve your goals. So anyway, love you guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I will see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Yes, Kyle, order it. You are going to love this book. I like literally, even though I finished it a few books ago, I'm still like going back to this book. I'm still keeping it with me when I travel because I keep reading it over and over, and it's so profound. Let me just read you the last page. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I will because it's good. It says, "Are you a born writer? Were you put on earth to be a painter, and a scientist, an apostle of peace? And the question can only be answered. In the end, the question can only be answered by action. Do it or don't do it. It may help to think of it this way. If you are meant to cure cancer or write a symphony or crack cold fusion and you don't do it, you not only hurt yourself, even destroy yourself. You hurt your children, you hurt me, you hurt the planet, you shame the angels who watch over you, and you spite the Almighty who created you and only you with your unique gifts for the sole purpose of nudging the human race 1 millimeter farther along its path back to God. Creative work is not a selfish act or a bid for attention on the part of the actor. It's a gift to the world and every being in it. Don't cheat us of your contribution. Give us what you got." That is the last line of this book. Don't cheat us of your contribution. Give us what you got. So anyway, it's awesome. Love you guys. You have a great day too, Zona. I love seeing your creations. You guys should follow Zona. She's always sewing and creating this beautiful stuff, and really is like, his point is that's all divine purpose. It's not a Christian book. He calls it the muse that inspires us. But the point is that your creation changes the world, and Zona, your creations make me happy, and I love seeing them. So thank you for creating. And you guys have an awesome day. May your hearts be, minds be fierce, and your hearts strong, and your spirits kind today. Love you. Bye.